with 2023 behind us, guys, it is time to look forward to 2024. I'm your host, Adam Stone. We're going to be looking at my 10 most anticipated films going into 2024. I'm very excited. We had a lot of good films last year, and there is a plethora of films about to come out this year. And as you can see by the names scrolling alongside me, I don't know which side of the screen they'll be on, but there are a lot of stuff coming. Stuff that might not even have a title yet. Stuff that, we know the title of right now, but it could change. Like, who knows? I mean, but there's going to be a lot of good stuff here. And these are the 10 things I know of right now that I am just chomping at the bit to see. And I know there's going to be stuff at the end of next year that I would have had on my list, but again, my list usually depends on like if I saw a trailer and it gets me that much more hyped. I know there's a lot of good stuff coming that aren't going to make the list, but I can't get even more like excited, over the hump excited for it because it's not tangible yet. Right now, it's just a name on a release date, and that's all I got. There's some stuff that that'll do it. That'll get it on the list for me. But there's some stuff I'm like, I like the idea of this. For example, like the Lord of the Rings cartoon movie they're doing next Christmas. I mean, I'm excited for it, but I don't know. I haven't seen much of it, and it just wasn't enough to get put on the list. So that's a spoiler. That's not on the list. But we're going to start here at number 10. It's Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I mean, this film looks bonkers. I loved Mad Max Fury Road. It's got that same palette. Chris Hemsworth looks like he's going to be absolutely fun in it with like the fake nose and a whole wacky character. And Anya Taylor-Joy is one of my favorite actresses, and her coming in as a younger Furiosa appeals to me. I think she's awesome. I think this looks like it's going to be a fun time, and it'll be off the walls fun. I just can't wait to see this film, and I think we'll remember it. All right, number 9, I have Deadpool 3. Whether or not that's the final title yet, I don't know. We'll find out. But I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds. Hugh Jackman's coming back as Wolverine. There's a lot of good stuff about this. Who knows how it's going to tie into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what they're doing, how it's going to resolve everything that happened before Fox was bought by Marvel. What this film could do is absolutely limitless, and we'll find out what they do. And I trust Ryan Reynolds to make this at least a fun movie. And while I don't think the other two Deadpool films are the greatest comic book movies ever, I had fun with them, and I think the third one could be absolutely bonkers and great. At number 8, I have Alex Garland's Civil War. Now, I don't have any horror films on my list per se, but watching the trailer for Civil War absolutely gave me chills and made me scared and made me go, this is a horror film. Like, this could be real. And that's what the scary part about seeing this trailer and the premise of this film about a real life, current day Americans, United States Civil War and the implications of that. And I just know Alex Garland's made a lot of great stuff, Ex Machina, Annihilation, I believe. But his films, whenever I see his name attached to stuff, I just know we're getting something that's going to be just deep, got a lot of deep meaning into it. And while a lot of this you can see it on the surface, I'm sure there's going to be much more stuff we're going to dive into. And I just think this looks like it's going to be a crazy time, probably going to be a bit depressing and shocking, and I'm here for it. At number 7, there has been no trailer, no pictures that I'm aware of for this one, but it's A Quiet Place Day One. I love the first two A Quiet Place films. This one being a prequel, a different director, new set of actors, and a different location. I am all for this universe. I love the A Quiet Place stuff, and I don't know. I saw this name and it jumped out, and I love the first two. I'm gonna trust that even John Krasinski as a producer on this one. I think he might have done the story on this one. I trust him, and I think this will be a good one. At number 6, I have Inside Out 2. I mean, I love Pixar films. I love the first Inside Out. I bawl every time I watch it, and I am very curious to see what they do with the second one. Adding new emotions, having Riley grow up a little bit and becoming a teenager, and exploring all these different facets of growing up and the emotions that get more complex and evolve. I'm just curious what Pixar is going to do with this. Usually when they come up with a sequel, it's usually pretty good. I mean, every Toy Story sequel is fantastic. Cars notwithstanding, I think that's the only one where they had a sequel that I didn't really dig. I love Incredibles 2, so I have faith that they would have to have something incredible. I hadn't, pun not intended, because I like Incredibles too. They would have to have come up with a great story to succeed the first one if they were going to make a second one. So I really have a lot of high hopes and faith that this one is going to at least match, if not succeed, the original. At number 5, I have Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Look, Godzilla vs. Kong is fun. I'm not saying it's the greatest movie ever, but I had so much fun watching it in the theaters after COVID. It was the first thing I got to see in the theater, getting back to it. And I like this iteration of Godzilla. I like this iteration of Kong. I like this universe they've started building, especially after Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, the TV series. I'm all in on this monster verse. And while I'm not crazy about Godzilla getting the purple coloring, I'm all about this film. Even if it's just as good as Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong, I'm all about this. Just give it to me. I love seeing giant kaiju fight. This new kaiju, the Scar King, looks interesting. So we'll see where they take this universe. At number 4, Joker, Folie à Deux, a sequel to Joker that came out in 2019. Joaquin Phoenix won an Academy Award for his portrayal of the Joker in this film, in the previous film, sorry. And this one, you got Lady Gaga coming in to play Harley Quinn. There hasn't been a trailer for this. I've just seen stills. You hear a little bit about the story, like maybe there's some musical numbers in this, and it's going to get weird. And they wouldn't have made a sequel had they not have found a decent enough story, I would hope. I mean, Todd Phillips crushed the first one, I thought. And I am very curious to see what they will do with a sequel to that world. And I get it's like a Elseworlds type of story in the DC films. But, Joker made $1 billion. I don't know if this one will. I can't wait to see a trailer. I'm sure I'll get hyped when I see it. But right now, 2023 going into 2024, I am so stoked to see Joker Folie à Deux. At number 3, Ghostbusters Frozen Kingdom. I loved Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was my favorite film when it came out a couple years ago. I love that cast, seeing them come back. Paul Rudd in this, having the original Ghostbusters come back as well. It's just everything I wanted to see, and I like that they're back in New York. I like that they got this new weird spin on this, like, the death chill, whatever this villain is, this entity that they're going to explore. I think that's cool that they're kind of bringing in some new elements and not just rehashing a bunch of old stuff, it looks like. So, very curious how this is going to go. I'm really got high expectations for this one. I'm very excited. At number 2, it's Dune Part 2. I didn't have this on my list last year, and it didn't make my 10 anticipated list because at that time we didn't have a trailer, and I just couldn't get hyped. I've seen enough trailers. I am overhyped for this film. I love the first Dune. It was towards the top of my list when that came out. But here, it looks awesome. Part 2 of that story, it looks epic in scale. Denis Villeneuve is one of the best directors, if not the best director in the world right now. So I'm very excited for this. If you haven't seen the first one, go check it out. Then watch the trailer for this one because I think this is going to be absolutely awesome. And it'll be something everybody's going to talk about. My number 1 most anticipated film is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Look, I am a big fan of the Caesar trilogy of Planet of the Apes films. I'm very hyped for this. I think that all 3 of those films are great. It was a great trilogy. And to get this film, a film that I wasn't even sure if I would ever see, what they were going to do if they would follow up Caesar, how far in the future they would go. Sounds like it's 300 years in the future. Got a new cast. I don't know any of the names of these new characters. Don't even know the voice actors. But I really, really hope that this film, takes that mythology and expands on it. I don't know if they're going to plan on connecting to like the original story of Planet of the Apes. They kind of touched on it in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So we'll see what happens. And I'm very looking forward to this film. And that's my list for this year, guys. What are your 10 anticipated films going into 2024? Leave those in the comments below. And if you could, please hit that like button, the subscribe button, the little bell notification to be notified whenever I drop new videos. It would be greatly appreciated. And until the next video in 2024, I'll be seeing you.